Good morning, dear students. So once again, I welcome you all on our online session of class 10 Information Technology Unit 2, that is Electronic Spreadsheet Advanced. In our previous discussion, that is the discussion of yesterday, I haven't specified what is the actual mark that this unit covers. So let me go through it first. This electronic spreadsheet, this unit carries a total of 10 marks. That means what? Total marks will be 10. So here in your board examination, you will be getting questions of 10 marks from this unit. Fine. Now let us come to the discussion. In our yesterday's discussion, we have discussed few of the terminologies related to the electronic spreadsheet, such as cell, active cell, range, the types of ranges, row range, column range, and so on. Now in our today's discussion, we will be concentrating on the data that are entered inside the cell in a spreadsheet application. Okay, so today we will be concentrating the various terminologies that are applicable whenever we are entering data inside the spreadsheet, data inside the cells in our spreadsheet application. So let us go through it. What are the different terms that we are going to discuss here? See, one more thing I would like to let you know. All the things that we are discussing till now is just a recap of what you have studied in your previous class, that is on class 9th standard. Now, we have not yet moved into our main topics of class 10. So, before going into the detailed discussion of the topics of class 10th standard, I thought like it will be better if we go ahead with some of the concept and revise it, which we have studied in our previous class. So, we will begin our discussion with the different terminologies which applies whenever we enter data in a worksheet by means of cells. So the topic goes like this. The topic is entering data. Entering data. So as we have already learned in our yesterday's discussion, that is the data can only be inserted in a spreadsheet application into the cells whenever we need to perform certain operations on data. Then in case of spreadsheet application, the data needs to be inserted inside the cells. So all the things, all the contents, whether it is number, an alphabet, or a text, or a special character, all those things needs to be entered inside the cell. So let us discuss the different terms different terminologies which we will be encountering while entering data into our spreadsheet application. The first term is labels. See, before defining the term label, let me draw a general spreadsheet, the picture of a general worksheet where we are going to enter this data, that is label. So in general, a worksheet will be looking like this. So these are columns A, B, C, D, E, and it will continue. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, these are set of rows. So a worksheet is made up of a group of columns and rows in the form of grid. This is an arrangement which can also be called as grid, which can also be considered as grid. Now, the first term which we are going to discuss in here is level. So whenever, suppose I have selected any cell, say this one, this cell I have chosen this point, so it will be the cell reference of this cell will be B3. Now if we go ahead and enter any text, say name of a person Ajit. Suppose I have entered any textual content inside a cell, that textual content can also be referred by another name which is known as levels. Okay, whenever we simply enter any text inside a cell, that will be considered as levels. Okay, see this is text. Apart from text, whenever we go ahead and insert alphanumeric characters also, suppose AG@123. But remember, whenever we are inserting alphanumeric characters, the first character should be alphabet. In such situation, those content can also be considered as levels. So in general, a level is any text that is inserted onto a cell. Okay, whenever we enter any text inside any of the cell, then that text will also be considered by another name, that is level. Moreover, whenever we enter labels inside our spreadsheet application, by default the content which we will be inserting are always left aligned. Okay, always aligned towards the left. So here one more important point is that by default in any of the spreadsheet application, the text, it can also be considered as labels. The text are always left aligned. So this is the basic definition of level. Any textual content, any text that is inserted onto a cell. Whenever we insert any textual content onto a cell, that is called level. And by default, whenever we are inserting a label inside any of the cell in a spreadsheet application, by default all the text will be aligned towards the left. That means what? Our text will be moving towards the left. Wherever you place your content, it will always be moving towards the left of that particular step. Now, the second terminology related to entering data in a spreadsheet application is label values. See, values denotes only the numbers. Whenever we insert only number onto an active cell, as we have already explained, we have already learned in our yesterday's class, that is the cell which has been highlighted after. When we place our pointer to a particular cell, it will get highlighted, and that particular cell will be considered as an active cell. So whenever we insert only numbers into an active cell, that number is also referred by another name, that is called values. And similar to levels, there is one constant which is being placed on values. That is, by default the values are always aligned towards the right. That means what? Whenever we enter the textual content, our content will be moving towards the left, while our number content will be moving towards the right or aligning towards the right. So let us define it. The numerical values numerical data consisting of only numbers entered into an active cell is also called value, also known as values. Fine. So whenever we are inserting any numerical data which consists of only numbers into an active cell, that numerical value, that number can also be considered by another name, can also be termed as value. So suppose I have inserted a number, then by default it will always move towards the right or align towards the right, say 4, 5, 6, 7. Like this, it will be aligned towards the right, while our textual content will be aligned towards the left. So these are the concept of levels, values. Then one more term is there when we consider entering data into our spreadsheet application, that is formula. Oh, here one more thing I forgot, that is by default the values are always right aligned. Always right aligned. Okay. So by default, whenever we enter any values, it will be always aligning towards the right of an active cell. So these are two terms. Apart from this, one more term is there whenever we enter data into a spreadsheet application, that is third one, formula. The third terminology which we are going to encounter while entering data into our spreadsheet application is called formula. So what is formula? Let us see. See, inside any of the cell, if an expression begins with the equal to symbol, then that expression will be considered as formula. That means what? This is not a formula, correct? This is text. This is not a formula. This is also not a formula. These two are not formulas. But whenever we place an equal to symbol, suppose we have chosen an active cell, we have simply place an equal to symbol followed by say S. If we type something, then that expression will be considered as a formula. So let me note down the explanation. Any expression that begins with an equal to symbol is considered as a formula. For example, equal to sum A1, B1, C1. Fine. See here, after equal to we have placed a function that is sum, and inside this function, the terms or the cell reference which we are using here, they are also considered by another name, that is parameters. Parameters. We are passing these parameters to our function. Okay. Pass by reference. This is also known as pass by reference. While if we directly insert the values in place of this cell reference, if we directly insert values, then that will be considered as pass by value. While since we are only using the parameters, that is reference, using the cell reference, so it is also known as pass by reference. So this is an expression which shows how a formula will look like when we enter inside. Whenever we are entering any expression, whenever we are inserting any expression into any of the active cell, and that expression begins with equal to symbol, is also known by another name, that is formula. For example, sum bracket a1 comma b1 comma c1 semicolon. Right? So these are the three terms which we need to learn whenever we are inserting data into our spreadsheet application. Okay, so let us come to the next topic of our discussion, that is mathematical operators, their names and usage, and the operator precedence of various mathematical operators. Now we will take both these terms one by one. As in your previous class, as in your lower classes mathematics, you might have already learned all these things. But few of the operators which we are going to use will be newer for all of us. This operator, as you know, is an addition operator for performing the task of addition usage. So I am not depicting the complete. I am not going in much details because you know already. You know it already. Moreover, this one is also known to all of us. The third one, that is star. It has got a specific name in whenever we are utilizing this operator in case of computers. The name of that particular operator is asterisk. And asterisk simply denotes all out of a group of set, all. Okay, so asterisk, and it is used for performing multiplication, and similarly slash for division. And this you might not have learned this operator till now. You might have not seen this operator where it is being utilized. It is also known as cap. It has got a specific name, that is cap operator. The main task of this operator is to perform exponentiation or finding the powers. Exponentiation or finding the powers, or finding the powers. Okay, so these are the basic operators which we are going to encounter, which we are going to utilize whenever we are working with a spreadsheet application, whenever we are performing any operations on data inside a cell in our spreadsheet application. Fine. So these are certain set of mathematical operators, and apart from this will only be applicable whenever we are utilizing any formulas or functions in Excel. Whenever we are utilizing any formulas or functions in spreadsheet application. Now these are various operators. Remember these two names are very important. This one is star. Star also called as asterisk. Asterisk means complete, whole, total. Fine. And this is care. Now let us come to the next one, that is operator precedence. Means how we will be utilizing all those operators. What are the order in which our operators will be utilized whenever we are performing any of the task in our data. Okay, whenever we are performing any task on our data, what are the sequence in which we will be using our various operators. So as you might be knowing, this is parenthesis, correct? Parenthesis or bracket. So whenever we are using parenthesis, it should be given the first preference or first precedence. Whenever an expression is there where these parentheses are coming up, then first of all the order of preference should be given to parenthesis. Then our second precedence will be given to cap operator, means power operator, exponential. After parenthesis, exponential operator will come into play. Then the third one will be slash or star, means division or multiplication, and the fourth one will be addition and subtraction. See, this operator precedence is similar to one of the concepts which you might have studied in your mathematics, that is the rule is also known as Bodmas. Correct? All of you might have studied this concept of Bodmas. Whenever we are simplifying any expression consisting of different set of operators, then we need to go ahead with this rule. That is, first one is bracket of division, multiplication, addition and subtraction. Correct? So this terminology, whenever we are using in any of the expression in our spreadsheet application, that is being referred by another term, that is operator precedence. Means what are the different orders in which our operators can be utilized in our expression, that is also known by another term, that is operator precedence. And whenever we are encountering this term operator precedence, we should always remember the first preference should be given to parenthesis, followed by cap, then slash or star. After that, the final one will be addition and subtraction. So these are the two most important terms which we will be utilizing whenever we are performing any task using our expressions in spreadsheet. Okay, so with this I would like to conclude today's discussion.